All right, local swell trackers. Sunday the 24th, we just finished up with the Hawaiian Pro. The jet stream's looking like this. We've had enough energy, enough wind speeds in this, 170, 180 knot pockets, and enough dips. Those meridional flows allow for surface circulation, which generate the storms, the lows, which generate our swell. Well, we've had a sizable 8 to 12 pluser last Thursday. We had this one today for the Hawaiian Pro, which got up to, Pipeline saw some 10 plusers easily. Seems like it's peaked. The consistency's been weird. We've got another swell coming up Wednesday and a big north potentially on the 30th and then December 1st. So let's start the animations in. You can see the jet creates a cut. It's cut off there, and that happens at the surface as well. And then right about here, let me back this up. Right about here, we get from this setup a really long 1,500 mile long fetch that I'm going to show you shortly from this current setup, and about 1,200 miles wide, and that's going to bring the big north later in the period end of the month. So here comes the high pressure here on the last day of the month, bouncing that jet straight up and over. But on this side, it does drive some surface winds and noses it pretty close to us here, about 20 north. And you can see that this is trying to come right down on us, but not quite. A lot of the energy is passing off to our east. But there it is. There's the run, bringing us some swell. This setup right here for Wednesday, and then this setup here for towards the end of the month going on, even though they're not your classic swells from off Japan. Back to last Sunday, this fetch here, this long, wide fetch off the Kuril Islands, heading towards the 180 dateline, which is about 1,200 miles away from us. That's what brought us up last Thursday for 8 to 12 plusers, a big fat one. And of course, Hawaiian Pro just absolutely scored today as well, although not quite what we were hoping. That fetch kind of moved out of our swell window, so it that one for Thursday really dropped a lot, 5 to 7 at the most on Friday, and that's why the fetch just left our window. And then we start these surface winds in again. Here's the next one, again off the same region, the Kuril Islands, moving towards the dateline, and this was Wednesday the 20th. And these are, say 40, 45 knot winds. We had some 25 plus C's in it, and this is the one that boosted us. I'll tell you, Pipe was focusing it really well earlier today. It's 1:30 now on Sunday, but earlier there were 10, maybe even a couple 12-foot perfect bombs, A-frames at Pipeline. Absolutely packed. It is your classic packed pumping pipeline. Everybody practicing up for the Vans Triple Crown's surfing's greatest finale, bar none. But anyway, back to this current fetch. This is Wednesday the 20th. This was what brought us in today, Sunday. Fetch weakens, and then we're out of here for those kinds of swells. This little slight pulse here is going to come in short 12-second period for Wednesday. Again, a northwest swell, but it's okay. Now I've got the current model runs. This guy pops thanks to the jet stream pattern we were showing you. It left this cutoff low right here. Now the fetch clearly is pointing out of our swell window, but there's enough of it right there that whirls around. Wave Watch 3 is predicting some 7-foot swell at 14 seconds. That's enough for about at least 8 feet. We're just going to go ahead with 6 to 8 feet on Wednesday from this puppy, and that'll be a northwest angled kind of swell. Sunset is likely to take it. So sunset's first day, the Vans World Cup will start. This current swell we had Sunday, they'll start on Monday with it, and then we'll probably take a break Tuesday, and then we'll get underway if the north swell, this northwest swell, is good and big enough. I think it will be. And then we have a really big northwest to straight north swell that may wash sunset out. We may have to wait a while. We have till December 7th. But I distract myself. Let's continue on. This fetch right here, we're rolling this out. You see later in the model runs how close the fetch gets. This is Wednesday the 27th. So thanks to the proximity and the decent winds earlier in the model runs, we're going to see some 8-footers and have a northerly tilt to it for sure. Spots like Laniakea will go off. Now we're going to take a look at the swells produced by the surface winds we were looking at. This is going back a week ago, Sunday the 17th. Here comes that system off of Japan. We'll roll it out. The fetch captured partially, and this was a really good swell. You can see as it crosses the date line, there's some 35-foot C's in it, and this boosted us up to 12 feet. last Thursday. Continuing on with the models, the next one kind of came out in the same area. It stays further away. It's a little bit smaller. That one was what brought us up today. Again, moments for pipeline. It's not lasting very long, but we'll still see some 6, maybe 7 footers tomorrow. Local scale for Sunset Beach. Starting these in and running through the current day. You can see that next little storm pumping us up for Wednesday. Here's current time, Sunday the 24th. Right here on our side of the date line, this little spinner starts to kick off and support the storm before it. This one had much higher seas, at least now closing in on 30 feet. The track was towards us, most of its energy off to our west. We'll still see, we're going to go ahead and claim about 8 feet on Wednesday from that you're looking at there. And here comes the straight north. We've got some 33-foot seas in this guy. It broadens here up towards the eastern Aleutians, and then it starts to track off to the southeast. But the fetch on its west flank looking good, enough to get down towards us, bring us up to 10 to 15 feet. Look how close it gets. It's a slow mover. We like that. We also have a big typhoon by this time, Monday the December 2nd, heading right over the Philippines, bringing in incredible waves. Hopefully it stays offshore. Okay, the swell periods. We saw the long period forerunner, 17 seconds. They're going to average out about 15. This is Sunday. The current swell, the west-northwester fades. This is that first pulse here for Wednesday, 4 or 5, maybe 6 feet. Again, look at all the real energy passing us off to the west, as I was saying. But still, there'll be enough there for, again, we're hoping for, double to triple overhead for Wednesday. Continuing it on, we can see the really big one coming down there for that to north. It'll start off north-northwest to north, and then north to north-northeast. There's going to be a mix of swells in this. Some of them really long period north-northeast swell mixing in with the north. And this will be Saturday the 30th. We see this really coming up and be large and in charge without a reef. Most spots washing out late in the day, Saturday afternoon into Sunday, all day Sunday. A giant north, 9 to 10 O's for select reefs. Now for the land down under, very weak jet. I mean, these are just 90 to 100 knots, and it's just not enough energy in the upper atmospheres to transfer that, impart that energy down at the surface. Although we still have enough right there, that meridional flow, which is pointing up towards us. Zonal is west-east. Meridional has the loops, the troughs, and that one will steer a low pressure up, and we will see some south-southwest swell the last day of the month and into early December. We are looking at some chest-high waves for town, which isn't bad. I mean, we're talking December here. Rolling out the animations a little bit further. Again, it ends up being pretty zonal, even though there's some decent pockets. And then here, looks like we have a slight meridional flow again on December 1st, which means we have some odds for around the 7th or 8th background energy. Nothing to write home about, but something to ride in December. We'll take it. Doing a little hindcasting Sunday the 17th down under. A little bit of a Tasman Sea source down here, but hardly any energy. It's a 1.5 feet, occasional barely 2. But anyway, you can see some. It's not really tracking up towards us. And we get just little pockets of swell, but nothing pointing up our way until right about there. And this is Saturday the 23rd. This guy has some 28-foot seas, and it's compact. It's only going to lead to about mostly 2-foot surf here towards the end of the month, 30th, 1st and 2nd. Okay, model's current date, the 24th. This system begins to track off out of our swell window. Here comes another one. This is Tuesday the 26th. So we have some more background pulse. It's an east-northeast flow. We get a portion of sideband swell. We go very quiet from there on, and we'll see if there's some minor exceptions. But again, these are 2 storms that will end up bringing us something. Hope you have a big board. Okay, the swell periods. Of course, the big one's coming down. This is the one here from last Thursday. This one up here is the one for today's Sunday. The long periods all the way from, again, up toward Hokkaido and the Kurils. Down under you see that minor short period 14-second swells trying to come up from that one storm. Let's start these in again. We're looking at the energy emanating up from the Tasman Sea, barely making it. Here comes the swells I was bringing up from the couple systems tracking up towards us, all thanks to that meridional pulse, that meridional flow from the jet stream. So we're not doing too bad in the south.